Ground control to Major Brad. Take your protein pills as you go looking for your father and his Lima project. Ad Astra, directed by James Gray, starring Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth Negga, Donald Sutherland, and Liv Tyler. You see, I'm wearing my NASA shirt. So let's talk about this movie. This is a new movie coming out after the Disney Fox deal from the Fox Studios that is the independent area, the same area where Ready or Not came from, and Ford versus Ferrari is coming from. So definitely go out and support these movies so you can show that this investment that Disney made is a good idea. Now, I was very interested in seeing this movie about Brad Pitt being an astronaut in outer space, trying to find out what happened to his father, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and this Lima project that Tommy Lee Jones is on, since something bad happens on Earth that could create some danger to our solar system, and they think the Lima project is connected because they know that there's some antimatter on the spacecraft. So let's talk about this movie. This is definitely one of the best movies I've seen visually. It really does a great job making you feel like you're in outer space. And Brad Pitt does a really great job as Roy McBride. He really does a great job playing an astronaut. And Tommy Lee Jones, who doesn't get that much screen time, does a pretty good job with what screen time he has. I did like Ruth Negga in the movie. I did like Donald Sutherland. And I thought Liv Tyler did a pretty good job, even though Ruth, Donald, and Liv don't get that much screen time, which gets into our negatives. The scene on the moon, though, was really good. And the scene on the space tower was one of the best scenes in the movie. There was a lot of really good scenes. You could tell that this movie was trying to go for a 2001 Space Odyssey, trying to be like Gravity. It was trying to be a lot of different things when it comes to the different space movies all rolled up into one. And I thought I did a pretty good job of mixing different elements of other space movies and putting it all into this great package, and with Brad Pitt's very good performance and everything. But there are some problems with this movie. First off, a lot of people didn't like the length of the movie. I didn't mind the length because I was very much invested in Brad Pitt's character and in the story. But one of the problems I had was the fact that all these supporting actors, Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth Negga, Donald Sutherland, and Liv Tyler, did not get that much screen time, so I wasn't totally invested with them because you don't get enough character development. As far as the supporting characters, the one that gets the most screen time is Tommy Lee Jones, of course, since he's Brad Pitt's father in the movie, but even he doesn't get enough screen time. Ruth Negga gets like 5 minutes of screen time, maybe. Donald Sutherland gets maybe 10 minutes. Liv Tyler gets very little screen time, and she plays Brad Pitt's ex-wife in the movie, or ex-love interest. And you don't really get totally attached to her or really feel any chemistry between Brad and Liv because it's pretty much all flashbacks between those two. And that's some of the problem with this movie, is that you're not totally connected to the supporting cast. You do get a good amount of connection to Brad Pitt. There were some people that didn't totally like Brad Pitt's performance because he's not emotional enough, but I understood why he was trying not to show too much emotion in this movie, even though he's a very charismatic actor. He was trying to show that he's being controlled of his emotions because he's got to go through all these tests every so often to make sure he's good to go when he goes from one place to the next, from one planet to the next, and he's got to go from Earth to the moon to Mars, and then to the Lima project, which is like all the way as as far as Neptune, practically. And when you see all the different planets of our solar system, they look great in this movie. You don't get to see Brad Pitt go on all the different planets, and you do see him go on Mars, the moon, and on that space tower, and some other spacecrafts as well, but you don't get to see him like walk on Neptune or something like that, especially since like Jupiter is a gas giant. I don't know how safe it would be to go on Neptune or Saturn or other planets like that, but this movie is really a great visual splendor. I can definitely see this movie getting an Oscar for visual effects. And Brad Pitt is really good in this movie, despite what the naysayers say. I really did like him in this film. I did like Tommy Lee Jones, even though he doesn't get that much screen time. I do wish the other actors, Ruth Negga, Liv Tyler, and Donald Sutherland, got a bit more screen time and a bit more character development. But you can tell that this is Brad Pitt's movie, and he really gives it his all in this film. And you can tell this movie does a really good job making you feel like you're in outer space, especially if you were watching this in IMAX. Then you really get the full experience. But I didn't see it in IMAX, but I saw it on a regular screen. But even then, I could really get the full experience within this movie. And it is a good movie, and I definitely think people should check this movie out, as well as go see Ready or Not, and whenever Ford versus Ferrari comes out, the Christian Bale, Matt Damon racing movie. That movie looks really good. So that's all I got to say for Ad Astra. I'm going to give this movie an A-. Definitely check out this space movie.